Going to be watching that one. But yeah, speaking of which, you're a pop culture maven, a rom connoisseur. And so I thought we should look at some other cultural landmarks coming from your esteemed knowledge. I'd love you to pick one song, one film, and one book for us that resonate as the epitome of romance.
Oh, I could never choose the epitome. That's big. But I could choose stuff that I like.
Just one that comes to mind. I mean, obviously, we could start with the song. R&B runs a lot through your writing. I'm guessing it's not thong song.
It's not
even though, you know.
Thong song's up there. Thong song's up there. I mean, singing that passionately about thongs, it's up there. It's actually in the book, Nothing Even Matters, Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo.
Yes.
There's such, how can a song have chemistry? But that song has so much chemistry. There's interaction between them. There's a bit where D'Angelo says, I sometimes have a tendency to look at you religiously, and Lauren chuckles. That chuckle, that coyness, that flirtation, it's everything to me. And also I love that he says that, like that awe, that like, you know, God, you're so amazing. I love that song. That song's everything to me, and that song is very like Malachi and Kiki. Movie, there's so many movies.
It's hot.
Okay, I'm gonna choose two because there's kind of the same theme, which is When Harry Met Sally.
Yes.
Love that movie. It's a best friend movie, and I just love their individual growth and the fact that, like, listen, they're flawed people. They are not they're not like great people, but they're so right for each other. And I just enjoy that kind of that friendship that forms their romance and informs their romance. And it'll be Love Brown Sugar. It's like a hug to me. They have amazing chemistry, Sana Lathan and Tay Diggs, and it's the as a writer, I love the bit where like they're just having a casual conversation, and he just casually quotes something that she wrote, and it's just like he's not trying to impress her. He's just so in tune with the tapestry of her soul that he's just like, I want to know everything about you, and obviously I'm going to read it, and her man had not read it. So, I love that movie so much. And for me, I watched that when I was 12, 13. I think that was like the first, apart from Coming to America, which I don't know if it's a rom-com, on the line, but I think it was the first black rom-com that I wrote, or maybe watched, or like I was allowed to watch,
Formative.
100% formative. I loved it, and I think still to this day, everything I write has that in mind. Is that it?
And a book.
And a book. I'm gonna think of like the last romance that I adored. And I read a lot, as you can imagine, but I'm gonna say 7 Days in June.
Yes.
Love that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Check out Tia Williams if you haven't already. I noticed that we are 8:05. I forget what time we're meant to wrap up, but I'm sure someone will tell me. But if you guys have any questions, do start thinking of them. Don't be shy. Don't feel like, I'm going to wait for someone else. Please do think. But yeah, I kind of want to ask you about where you see depictions of black love going next, especially in the UK. What can we do to foster more of this storytelling? And do you think there's been an evolution in what we see depicted either here or in the States or elsewhere?
I feel like we need more people like you. That's number one, 100%. Because it's like, we just need people within publishing to pick up our stories, frankly. Because, that's it. And more black agents as well. I think it's really important. I think it's really like the people, like, I don't like to say behind the scenes because they are the scene, to be honest with you, but like it's that should be like truly. And in terms of TV,
can you think of examples of film or TV that you've thought, the depictions of love between black characters or a black character and someone else have kind of, Insecure always comes to mind.
Insecure is, I was trying to think of Black British, but like Insecure, I'm rewatching right now. I love that show. I think it's like literally top 5 for me because of exactly what I said. She's so messy.
Truly.
She's so messy, bad decisions all around. But also, there's a heart in it. She's not a bad person. And also, Lawrence is messy too.
Exactly.
Like, so it's black people in love and they're fallible, but they're good. And they're just trying to make it. And also, it's imbued with like the romance of friendship, which is in Honey and Spice, but it's also so important to me and goes alongside kind of the traditional romance. So yeah, definitely Insecure. I recently watched Dreaming While Black, and I really loved the romance that was portrayed in that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a long way to go and a dearth of these stories, particularly in the UK, but hopefully you'll be addressing that with your own writing, absolutely. I mean, I guess speaking of which, besides the Honey and Spice sequel, are you able to give us a hint of what you're working on next, or just in a very general sense?
So Sun Under Skin, I'm working on various TV projects, a movie and 2 TV projects. I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about them in detail, but
it will be
it's what you can expect. Romance, I love romance.
Brilliant. And with that thread of friendship there, as you say, I mean, that is like it goes hand in hand with romantic stories of kind of a non-platonic nature, and you nail that so well. So does anybody, we've got 10 minutes left, and I'd love to be able to get some of your stories. I can't see your faces, but
I can't see you.
If anyone wants to shout out a question for Bolu,
I'll shout out.
please.
Hi.
Hello.
First of all, I love Loving Colour. I literally got to the end and I didn't even want to end it. It was like a tasty
Here we go,
meal.
that's nice.
And,
I think they're handing you a mic.
oh, cool. Can you all hear me though?
Yeah.
But I'll use a mic because, you know. But no, I love Loving Colour. And I was just saying how it was a tasty meal and I didn't want it to end, so I just kept holding it off and going, okay, you have to end this book. It's just not fair. It was so good. And your writing is so beautiful and eloquent and all the things. I wanted to ask you about, you spoke about direction on the page, especially for TV. I wondered how much influence you had on the casting process then, because obviously you had another director kind of directing it. So in terms of My Big Age, I think you had Ron Kay in it as your lead.
Oh yeah.
How was that for you? What was that process like?
Yeah, it's my show. So I'm the creator, but also that was in everything I do. I'm the exec producer. So and I did that because I want to have control. I'm a control freak, and I think that comes from writing novels and being writing my own stories. For me, it's the same thing. This is my baby. So casting for me is unthinkable that I would create a character and I would not have a say in who plays them. And Ron Kay and I have known each other for years, and she auditioned. Thank God she nailed it. I was like, girl, you're like my sister, and if you mess up this audition, it'll be really awkward for both of us. But she killed it. She smashed it. She's a phenomenal actress. But yeah, I just wanted somebody who would embody the spirit of Sade and Big Age, and she did it. But yeah, I'm in control of all of the casting. I'm literally sat in the audition room and I watch all the tapes.
Does anyone else have a question for Bolu? Don't be shy.